Previously on Human Convergence.
Those disease of royalties, which is processed food, white rice, white flour, sugar, not enough mobility, is happening to everybody. So this is to get back to the point, technology is giving us a lot of benefits, but it's also causing a lot of problems. So what is the future of humanity?
Right. I mean, where does it go?
One of the funny things that I want to share with the audience is that, do you know that AI came before computers?
What?
Yeah. So Alan Turing was trying to build an AI.
Okay.
And he built a computer to build an AI.
Welcome back, humans, to the Human Convergence,
To this 7-part series.
where Alex and I take you to a journey of discovery as to who we are, why are we here, and where are we headed. It talks about this wonderful possible future where humanity joins the club of advanced civilizations in our galaxy and beyond.
In 2006, I was sitting with one of my friends at Amazon. I used to work at Amazon. At one of these little indoor offices. We have 2 door desks. That's what Amazon used to have. Jeff Bezos was big on, you got to have a door desk because, when Amazon was a small company, they were trying to pack some, you have done some packing and shipping before.
Yeah.
Back was hurting. So but Jeff Bezos, he took out the door and put it.
Like literally a door
Right.
for a desk.
Right. And then they started packing and shipping on it. And then what happened was, as time went on, Jeff Bezos started feeling that Amazon was growing and people were losing touch with the reality. So when you join Amazon back in early 2000, you would go for training to work in one of the fulfillment centers, do the actual packing and shipping to get an idea of the complexity of that stuff.
Yeah.
As an engineer, you have to go and do that
Right.
for
So
a couple of
the
weeks.
lowest level of.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you would be a better engineer because you'll understand. And when I went there in 2005 and 6, it wasn't like that, but I heard the story,
Okay.
the door desk. So anyways, I was sitting in this office in 2006 with Scott. My interest is a lot in space exploration also, and that's perhaps one of the reasons why this channel I'm doing that. I want to do this for a long time.
Yep.
And what is going to be interesting to talk about in another episode is my interest in AI. I have a PhD in machine learning from UT Austin. And my interest in AI and my interest in space exploration, I was a member of Mars Society, spent several years doing a lot of public outreach. I think I'll tell the audience sometimes the story I told you about meeting Zubrin.
Oh, yes.
Robert
This is a great
Zubrin.
one.
That's a funny one. And finding out about Elon Musk back in 2002. Yeah, it was a long time ago, 20 years
That was
ago.
a long time. Yeah, that was 20 years, yeah.
So I was doing all this, and it's kind of fulfilling for me that I'll be talking about AI in this channel and technology, what bright future is coming if you play your cards right.
Right. It's kind of like a convergence of your interests.
Yeah, convergence of my interests and how that relates to convergence of human interests
Right.
and how that relates to aliens.
Alien. Okay.
Right, the 400 billion.
Yeah, I mean that's a great question, right? I mean, it feels like we're things are getting more and more efficient. Our footprints, reducing, and we've talked about all these planets that presumably could support life,
And maybe sentient advanced life on some of them.
right? But we haven't encountered that.
Yeah, exactly. Fermi's paradox.
Okay, yeah.
So this is what Scott and I were talking about that day with 2 door desks.
Okay.
Sitting in that office. And we were just talking, we were watching one of the Falcon launches.
Oh, yeah.
So Scott White was one of my colleagues at Amazon, became a good friend. He's in machine learning too. We actually both kind of created Amazon's machine learning group, which is there now. When both of us were there, we were there. And Amazon was just transitioning from rule-based and, old-style statistical models to new machine learning-based models in 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10. I was there until 2010.
Okay.
And Scott left before that, but we were sitting together, we were talking about space because I was into this. I had watched a Falcon 1 launch.
Oh, wow.
I think, when nobody knew about Elon Musk
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
And we just started talking about rockets and space and Mars colonization, by the way, which is another topic which we will cover on this channel.
Uh-huh.
And he started asking me, what do you think about the future? You talk about space. What's the Mars colony going to do for us? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, kind of why bother?
Yeah, he loves asking very important questions.
Yeah.
And I get new ideas when I talk to him. And he gets some new ideas and then we just bounce out of each other.
That's fabulous.
And sometimes those things become something part of an AI or, I don't know, like this.
Yeah, kind of inspire something.
Literally, right?
Yeah, right.
I had just finished a few years before.
Mm-hmm.
I had finished reading some of the books from Carl Sagan.
Do you have any particular favorites from him?
I think one of these books, Gardens of Eden, maybe? Dragons of Eden. So Carl Sagan talks about this exponential growth in technology that is happening right now and the reasons for that. And he goes back 2,000 years or 10,000 years and shows how humanity is slowly advancing as a society is getting more sophisticated and we haven't quite destroyed ourselves yet.
Right.
So he talks about
still
that
here.
in his book.
Okay.
So he's talking about this exponential growth, right, in his book. And there are some other people who have talked about that. And the Moore's law is actually obviously coined by Moore with a chip density doubling every 14 months, right?
Okay.
I think the Moore's law is gone now. It doesn't work anymore because the chip density did stop increasing, I believe, 8 or 9 years ago. But there are some other types of Moore's law that are still going.
Okay.
And the idea was that what does the future look like with this exponential growth if you don't destroy yourself?
Okay.
If you don't destroy yourself.
Right, okay.
That's the catch.
Obviously, it would suddenly stop.
Nuclear war and, I was coming up with this whole idea where being a machine learning guy, AI, I believe that the day when AI becomes advanced enough, so we call it famous term now, AI 2.0, AGI. And the idea is that an AI, an artificial brain, people know what that is now. I don't have to. I mean, back in 2006 or 2002, when I was getting my PhD working in this area, people would just find it very funny if I told someone I was building a little brain, But now I don't think anybody's finding that funny anymore. It's coming
entered
really
the
fast.
mainstream, hasn't it? Yeah.
And it's coming fast. It's improving. We almost have a self-driving car from Tesla now.
Yeah.
So the question is, when that AI becomes advanced enough to be able to perform any task that a human being can. When I say task, I mean including learning new things.
Oh, wow. So really,
figuring out new things.
Yeah.
And the only thing that could be limiting is that it's slower than human beings. But it can solve any problem as complicated and as new as a human brain can. So there's a concept called Turing test, which was coined by Alan Turing. And his idea was that if you could perform a task as well as a human being without knowing that the buttons are being pressed by a human or the AI or the machine is doing it itself, then that AI passes a Turing test, indistinguishable from a human being.
Okay. So you can't tell. So a task is being accomplished and you can't distinguish if it's a computer doing it or a human.
He made the Turing test, but he also made the Turing machine, which is used in modern computers. Computer science won't exist, perhaps in some ways, would have been delayed if he didn't do that work during Second World War. And he was building computers to build AI. Now you can see why Alan Turing is kind of father of AI and computers.
That makes sense. Yeah, I can see that.
When you have an AI that is advanced enough to be able to do any generalized human task, any complexity, the speed is not important, then that AI, this was my shocking revelation, just came to me one day, then that AI can improve itself.
Wow.
And AI can make its own copy because it's digital, unlike the human brain. Like, the thing about like this, we actually don't know how to copy human brains yet.
Right.
Once we do, then we are almost like computers in some ways, right? But we can't do that right now. So if you can't copy computers or back ourselves up yet, then if you train a human being over 25 years, like an Einstein, for example, when he died, everything that all his wisdom was lost, he was actually working on some very important problems. Or Ramanujan, the Indian mathematician who was very young and he died, his prodigy, and he died because he got an infection in England when he was there during the Second World War. He died at like 29 or 32.
Oh, wow. Really?
I think there was a very famous movie about him too. Like, his little footnotes have become like whole areas in maths.
Yeah.
So prodigy like that dying because, no way to bring him back.
Mm-hmm.
Big loss, in my
Huge
opinion.
loss. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not saying that other human life is not important, but his capacity to help humanity, many other people like that, they did have bigger impact than other people.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think there's a difference maybe between importance and impact. It feels like, right? People can have
Exactly.
larger impact and still have
Yeah.
equal importance in some ways.
So certain people, if you could have prolonged their life,
Mm-hmm.
could have helped humanity more than an average person.
Mhm.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Right.
that feels reasonable.
And so
utilitarian.
bringing them back might be not a bad thing to do.
Mm.
Or saving them. I wouldn't say bringing them back, but saving them.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have to die at 29 or 32.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's say that you can do that with an AI that is that advanced. Generalized intelligence
Mm-hmm.
that can do anything as complex as a human being and can improve itself and can learn, can actually build a better AI.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Right.
when this feedback loop starts, my idea was that in a few months or a few years, it goes to a very high level very quickly.
Okay.
So I came up with this theory, and I called it convergence because, can you guess, Alex? I told you about this.
You did.
It can happen only on Earth? No. That was the idea.
Oh, okay.
You see? So I was big into astronomy and space and all that, right? So
Uh-huh.
if we have 400 billion stars,
Yep.
many with perhaps civilizations,
Mm-hmm.
if we reach this advanced stage where AI can improve AI itself and start building, helping us with technology and everything else, then other planets should be going through that too, which
Right,
have
over sort of
advanced technology.
Right. There's been billions of years in the universe. Why hasn't this happened?
Yeah,
yet?
13.8 billion years. A vast majority of sun-like stars are at least a billion years older than ours. Not a vast majority, the median.
Okay.
The typical star is actually much like a billion years older than ours. We are actually younger.
Mm-hmm.
So then on a planet like Earth around a sun-like star, they have a 1 billion year head start
Mm-hmm.
over us. And though if so, technology should have gone really advanced, exponential, and at some point AI should take over and exponentially improve to some saturation, not infinity.
Why do you say not infinity?
That's a very interesting problem because, speed of light, assuming that it's true, the idea there might be some headwinds that we don't know
Mm.
once you get more advanced. Like you really just can't go to advanced anymore because the brain just cannot be any faster.
Okay. There's
I
sort of
think-
physical or physics limitations.
I think there's an episode that I want to do on this
Mhm.
at some point. It's a very interesting topic about how advanced can artificial intelligence get.
Yeah.
But say there's a limit, some sort of
Mhm.
a very high level. The point that I noticed was that all of these planets with advanced civilizations will hit the same convergence, same point.
Okay.
And that is the meaning of the human convergence,
human
is that
convergence.
humanity is converging through this process.
Mm. Well, it feels like there's a merging there.
That's the crazy part, and that has to do with the 3 types of planets.
I hope you guys like this episode. We'll look forward to seeing you to the next episode next week. Beyond this mini series, we're going to be bringing you many, many guests in 3 areas. In the area of AI, the area of space exploration, and in the area of your health and your future and longevity. If you're interested in any of these 3 areas, and if you want to learn what is going to happen in the near future, and if you want to come on this wonderful journey with me, please click and like and subscribe.